That right there was way harder than it needed to be. Let's go back to the beginning and see how I got it done. Now, as you can see, I already got the doghouse stripped off of it. I'm getting ready to drop the front K-member. And then we will get ready to install the Mustang 2 front suspension. Transmission's out of there. We still got to unhook steering and a couple other things. I've already started running a couple bolts out of the crossmember because this crossmember bolts up in place. We need to talk about this K-member real fast. This is the 49 to 54 Chevy bolt-in Mustang 2 crossmember. I bought this from Gearhead Worlds or Gear Worlds on eBay. The lowers aren't built right either. They should have been 7 7/16 in between the bushings. Instead, they're 7 7/16 in between the sleeve. This bar is on center line of the crossmember. So I need to get the ball joints center line of the crossmember, which right now it's really close. What I had to do to get that done with these control arms is I had to take that much off. I already had machined some of this off with the mill, and the other problem with this K-member, this here is a 5/8 bolt. That's the hole. When you put a control arm on there, you can just run her back and forth. That's how much slop is in their pivot tube. And right now, I am really close. Close enough for me. Between this crossmember and these lowers, they both have me pretty ticked off. So we're gonna chuck this thing in the mill. We're gonna straighten this out. We're gonna get enough room left in here. We can put a washer over here, and we'll have a washer over here. And then we're going to use the spacers that came with the lower control arms, because the bolts actually fit. The spacer we make from this will weld to the face of this. Now, to fix the tube, I bought these, which those are 5/8 by 7/8 reducers. So what we're gonna have to do is, when we mill this off here, we're gonna have to install this. A lot of work for a bolt-in crossmember. All right, guys, after all that work, here's where we ended up. This on here is a straight edge, so we can sort of get an idea of where our ball joints, lower ball joints are at. This one, I made the 1/4 inch shim to get the ball joint close. Now this side, with the other control arm, required a 3/8 shim to get it close. But now, our control arms are aligned. Got some washers for the back side to take up the slack back there. I'm gonna take this apart and I will show you what I did to the sleeves, because these spacers here are gonna get welded in place here and here. And that has pretty much taken all, because before you could grab these control arms and just rock them back and forth a good 3/16, 7-inch. Bored this to 7/8, and then I put a 7/8 to 5/8 reducer in there. So now we got something, at least it's in line. Beware, if you buy the bolt-in crossmember off eBay, you're not just bolting it in. Unless I got one that's completely just out of whack. But everything I have here is out of whack. The control arms aren't right, the K-member's not right. But I was trying to save a little money, and I figured, you know what, I got the tooling. If something's wrong with this stuff, I can fix it. So maybe some of you all out there don't have the tooling, and you're trying to save a few bucks, and you think you're gonna buy this thing, and it's gonna, oh, I'm gonna save money, I'm gonna save time. You're not. You really are not. I have got probably 2.5 hours in correcting this thing so far. All right, now here's what we did. We cut these down to get our ball joint lined up. Well, I just drilled this bore to 7/8 and dropped that in there. And then these are the bolts that come with the lower control arms. These are the bolts I bought from Fastenal. There's nothing wrong with these. These have a slightly larger 6155, 6225. Now these two bolts here from Fastenal set me back like another 30 bucks. But they just help take up extra slop. So now when we put this down through there, we have no slop, which is a far cry better than where we started. So yeah, these cost me, I think, $260 a piece. And then the time in the mill, and that pretty much took care of all of our slop issues with the lower control arm. And we've got the ball joints on the center line of this cross member. here's an added bonus. This kit is just the gift that keeps on giving. I was knocking a tack loose off here, and their weld just broke right all up the side here. So, you know, they go through all the time to weld this, and then you take a grinder and you grind all your weld off so you have a pretty looking edge. So I'm only imagining this whole thing's like this. If a few hammer strikes can get that weld to break, yeah, we're not going to trust their welds. Now that I know where this is, I'm going to take this top hat off, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to weld all the seams myself, so I know this doesn't break apart while I'm going down the road. So you see I came back here, and from the bottom side, I welded this all back in. I stitched this up front, and I came back in here and welded this. Now I still got to do that same thing to that one over there. Now, but that has me kind of worried about that one, because you can see here where they've ground this too. Like this bottom piece here is a form piece, and the top is just a plate they put in there. Yeah, this thing's just been fun after fun after fun. Well, I'm gonna leave links to all this stuff down in the about sections, or I'll pin it down here in the comments. I guess what you really just need to take away from this is, I mean, they call this a bolt together setup, but it's really not. But then when you message them about it, they say, well, this is for a builder, which you obviously aren't. Okay, well, I got it to work after a ton of headaches. Now I just got to sort of weld it all up. I got to get the, go down and get 2 more of these braces, get them on there, tack them on there. And now that I got that set, I can knock this off here, and I can go over there and weld the bottom side like I did that one. Camber and casters where I want them. So now it's just a matter of, like these bolts here, I can't do anything about them because those are actually welded into the cross member. But these other ones here, I'm gonna flip them over, have them down. For the most part, you know, I have the tools, I have the machinery, I can fix this stuff. But if you don't have a mill or a lathe, so I'm under 600 bucks in the cross member, control arms, and spindles. I mean, that's the price of the height cross member. Now the rotors, they're 11-inch Granada rotors with a 4 3/4 bolt spacing. I got them from All-Star. The bearing kits come from All-Star, and this setup will use a Chevelle caliper. So yeah, a little bit of welding, and this will all be taken care of. Like I said before, when we were talking about this side's all done, all welded in. I just got to set the camber on this side now. This side's all welded up. It was a fun experience. I got to go through it with you guys. I showed you what to do, you know, what to look for if you buy the same kit. So yeah, in the next video, we're going to address the steering column, the rack and pinion. Hopefully the headers are here so we can get a motor in this thing. I have a transmission lined up for mocking that all up. We can get some motor mounts done, and that will take care of the front end. And we'll, I gotta take all this stuff off and throw some primer on here so it don't rust. But I'm also thinking about adding on to the oven just so we can powder coat this frame. Let me know what you think in the comments below now. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think about this 49 to 54 front suspension I have here. If anyone is doing this and you want the upper A-arm mounts, just let me know. I have the DXS form. Shoot me an email. I'll send them over to you. This is going to be a fun project. There's still a lot more to do to it. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Remember to hit the bell icon so you know when I upload new content. And I will see you in the next video.